Hi, my name is Tami Austin. My kids go to Riverton Elementary. They're off track. They're in the back. I'm going to school right now to be a librarian, and one of the classes I'm taking is called booktalking. And for one of my assignments, I have to come present a book talk, and your teacher was so nice to let me come do it. My friend Christine is videotaping me, and I have to turn it in. That's how I turn in my assignment. So if you have questions, will you just save them to the end, and then we can stop recording and I can answer your questions. Okay, I have 8 books that I'm going to tell you about today. The first one is called Allie Finkel's Rules for Girls, Moving Day by Meg Cabot. Allie Finkel is at war. She is at war with the idea of moving to a new house. Her old house is just fine. Her best friend lives down the street, and she has the best teacher at school. And school has already started. Isn't it against the rules to move after school started? And Allie is all about the rules. In fact, she likes science and math because of the rules. Allie even makes up her own rules. She has so many, she has to write them down in a notebook called Allie Finkel's Rules for Girls. Some of her rules are rules people have told her, like what goes up must come down, or treat your friends the way you would like to be treated. Allie also likes to make up her own rules, like never eat anything red, or if someone is yelling from excitement, the polite thing to do is yell back, or never put a cat in a suitcase. But the most important rule is never let your family move into a haunted house. And that rule is the reason why Allie is at war. But is it a war she has any chance of winning? And what will she do if she loses? To find out, read Allie Finkel's Rules for Girls by Meg Cabot. Okay, my next book is called The Roar by Emma Clayton. Everyone on Earth lived inside a wall. 50 feet high, built of concrete, with 3 rows of electrified razor wire on top of the wall. The wall makes a loop around the top 1/3 of the Earth, and all of Earth's population is jammed inside the wall. They built the wall during the animal plague. The animal plague is when all the animals on Earth went crazy and started attacking and killing all the people. So they built the wall to keep the animals out. But with only 1/3 of the space, the Earth's population is jammed in on top of each other. And people live in these tiny 15-foot square fold-up apartments. Babies were forbidden for 30 years. Ellie and Micah are twins, and they are part of the first generation of children born after the animal plague. Micah and Ellie never really got along. They were always arguing. But they were connected at a level that was deeper than who got the top bunk. Which is why Micah was so distraught when Ellie disappeared. The police said she fell off of a walkway and drowned, but Micah didn't believe them. He knew she was alive, far away, but alive, and no one was looking for her. Far away Ellie was alive. She had been kidnapped by Mal Gorman and had been trained to be a warrior for the past year. She was determined to get away. She was smart, she learned quickly, and everything she learned made it so she could escape. When Gorman found out, he went after her with all he had because she knew the secret, and she was a ticking time bomb, and she might ruin all of Gorman's plans. And perhaps she might even reveal the secret of what was really behind the wall. If you want to find out, read The Roar by Emma Clayton. Okay, my next book is nonfiction. It's called The Candy Bomber, The Story of Berlin Airlift's Chocolate Pilot by Michael Tunnell. It is Berlin, Germany, 1948. World War II has just ended. The country of Germany is divided up into 4 pieces. And the people that get these are the United States, Britain, France, and Russia. But all of these countries want to be involved in Berlin, which is the capital. But Berlin is right in the middle of Russia's peace, and Russia doesn't want to share. So Russia does not allow any travel into Berlin by water or by land. They want to starve the people of Berlin so that they will all agree to be Russian. The only way into Berlin is by airplane. But about this time, winter is coming, and the people are cold, they're hungry, and they don't know what to do. So Britain and the United States decide to airlift everything into the city. The cargo plane drops out of the sky to land in Berlin every few minutes, 24 hours a day. But what about the children? Germany has been at war for years. Food has been hard to find, and candy and sweets impossible. So one American pilot, Lieutenant Haverson, wants to provide more. What can he do for the children? Can he get candy or sweets to them? To learn more about Lieutenant Haverson's plan, read The Candy Bomber by Michael Tumi. Okay, my next one to tell you about today is Al Capone Does My Shirts by Jennifer Choldenko. Things just aren't going Moose Flanagan's way. He has to leave his friends and winning baseball team behind. He never gets to see his dad because he's always working, and his mom is acting just plain weird. Mom wants everyone to believe that Moose's sister Natalie is 10 when she's really 15 going on 16. Natalie has autism, and sometimes she acts a little bit different, and sometimes it causes trouble for Moose, especially because he's been watching her more. So what's a 12-year-old guy to do? Having to move with your family isn't all that unusual, but having to move to the Rock, Devil's Island, Alcatraz, is. It's 1935. Moose's dad is a prison guard on Alcatraz. Moose isn't too sure what to do with this 12-acre rock, topped with cement, covered with bird poop, surrounded by water. And trouble is never very far away. There are other kids living on the island with their family, and they're okay, except for Piper. Piper is the warden's daughter. And yeah, she's cute, but she is trouble. She always has some type of scheme going on. She lies to her dad, she takes her classmates to the cleaners, and she always wants to involve Moose. And let's not even talk about the prisoners. Alcatraz gets the worst of the worst, the prisoners that none of the other prisons want. In fact, there's even a notorious gangster there, Al Capone. When the Flanagan family has a crisis and nowhere to turn, will Moose break the most important rule? Never contact a convict. Would Moose dare to ask Al Capone for help? To find out, you can read Al Capone Does My Shirts by Jennifer Choldenko. All right, my next one is called Smile. And one thing that makes this book special is the whole book is a graphic novel. All right, so Smile by Raina Telgemir. Hanging out with your friends, you laugh, you joke, you have fun, you go shopping, you have sleepovers. One day, you and your friends are chasing each other and you trip. When you trip, you hit the cement. You hit the cement so hard, your 2 front teeth fall out. This is what happens to Raina, who's the main character in Smile. After an emergency trip to Dr. Golden's office, he glues your teeth back in. He covers them up with gauze. You come back a few days later, and when he takes the gauze off, you find out he has inserted your teeth too far, and now you look like a vampire. Yeah, the boys are going to notice you, but not in a good way. Luckily, Raina's dentist can fix the problem. However, it's going to take years. There's going to be so many trips to the dentist. Fake teeth, a retainer, braces, headgear. In fact, now you are the dentist's star patient. You see your dentist more than you see some of your friends. How are you going to survive this dental humiliation and still do all the things that normal middle school age girls need to do? Like do your homework, attend dances, try out for the basketball team, and have a crush on Sean. Will Raina's teeth ever grow back? Will she ever look normal? Or is she doomed to a lifetime of dental surgery? All because she tripped. Read Smile by Raina Telgemir to find out. All right, next book is called The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. There was a hand in the darkness, and it held a knife. So begins the story of Nobody Owens, known as Bod. On the night that Bod's parents are brutally murdered, 2-year-old Bod climbs out of his crib, bumps down the stairs, toddles out the door, and goes into the nearby graveyard. He is adopted by Mr. and Mrs. Owens in the graveyard. They're childless, and they've been dead for 250 years. But they agree to care for and protect Bod. With loving, ghostly parents, teachers, and friends, Bod grows from age 2 to 15 in the graveyard. He learns to read, he learns math, and he learns some ghostly skills. But not all the residents of the graveyard are friendly. There are ghouls, witches, flying creatures, and Jack, the fiend who's out to finish the business he started so many years ago. Will Bod survive? How will he survive? Will his ghostly friends and family be able to protect him from Jack? To find out, read the Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. All right, this one is called Where the Red Fern Grows by Wilson Rawls. Billy is 11, and he yearned for a dog, but not just any dog, a coon dog. Not just one dog, but 2 coon dogs. His family doesn't have much money. They live out in the Appalachian backwoods in the mountains. Billy's mom really wants to move to town, but they don't even have enough money to do that. So they certainly cannot get 2 dogs for Billy. One day, Billy finds a hunting magazine in an abandoned fisherman campsite, and he looks through it, and he finds an ad. Registered red-bone coon hound pups, $25 each. Now, more than ever, all Billy can see, hear, smell, think about is dogs. He must have a dog. But he knows he's not going to be able to get any help from his parents. So he decides to work. He picks blackberries and blueberries. He grows vegetables and sells them. He catches minnows to sell as bait to the fishermen. He works hard for 2 years. And after 2 years, he's finally saved $50. But now what? Will there even still be any coon pups for sale? If he gets them, what will he name them? And will he be able to train them to be the hunting dogs he's always wanted? And if you like dogs, adventures, or just a good story, read Where the Red Fern Grows by Wilson Rawls. All right, and my last book today is called Downsiders by Neil Shusterman. Have you ever thought about what could be running around underground in the sewers of a big city? Maybe a big city like New York. You've heard tales of rats or urban myths of alligators that live down in the sewers. But what if there really was a whole nother city down below the subway and the sewers in New York City? What would it be like? What if it was a city with an entirely different culture? They talked different, they dressed different, they ate different foods, they lived differently. What would it be like? Well, Lindsay meets Talon when he breaks into her house looking for some medicine for her sick sister. But break-in isn't really the right word, because Talon just climbs up out of a hole in the floor of her apartment, where Lindsay lives with her brother and her stepbrother and her father. But who is Talon? Where did he come from? To find out the answers to these puzzling questions, read Downsiders by Neil Shusterman. Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions? No questions? Okay, here's what if you don't mind, I'm going to ask and see what books you guys have read.